Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever this message may find you. I think I cracked the code, y'all. I think I done figured out what is the freaking problem, the issue between men and women. Oh shit. And a lot of the things that where we clash, something that maybe the elderly had less of, because I feel like our generation is so overstimulated, you know what I mean? Our generation and then the generation after us is going to be even worse. You know, they're overstimulated, meaning it's too much, it's too many options, it's too many instant gratifications, too many this, that. And back in the day, it wasn't that, you know. There was more of that human connection that they relied on, and I think that's why a lot of people were able to stay together and stick together and be, you know, good teammates and have solid friendships. You know, not saying that all of their relationships were peaches and cream, because I know it wasn't, but at least one thing is for sure, I'm sure they were able to communicate better, and you know, they were able to be more loyal and have a little bit more understanding, because when you have so many options, it's like, oh no, not this, no, not this, you know. So it's like, in a sense, I'm saying, you know, it was a little easier before for the generation before us, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch bases on what I think is going on between us. I think it's the ego, literally, based upon your background and what you grew up with and your characteristics and the way you move, your personality traits and stuff like that. When the ego, during a conversation between a man and a woman, especially if it's a disagreement, it's like the ego kicks in on both parties, and that the defense mechanism goes up, because people are like, oh, I don't want to get hurt, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be made to feel stupid, or I don't want to be vulnerable, or I don't want to be just honest and put my guard down, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, if we could do that, the dynamic of our relationships would change almost instantaneously. Just laying stuff on the table, because when I bring me, I come all the way, bringing me, laying it on the table for the most part. The only things that I'm gonna hold back on is things that I feel like I'm not quite, personal things that I'm not knowing if I can all the way lean on you yet in that sense. You know, if you know how when you meet somebody and you might have some things going on behind the scenes in the background, may it be emotionally, it may be financially, you might not want to tell them every single little thing that's going on in your world initially, because you're just trying to get to know them, and you're trying to see, first of all, do you even like them? You know what I'm saying? And then after you realize, oh, I do like them, oh, I'm feeling them, you know what I'm saying? Then you might love them, and then, you know, it just trickles down after that, one after the other. So, y'all, I'm trying to drive right, because I got some flowers. Take it to my aunt. It's her birthday. But, so I'm just like, I think I cracked the code. I understand, the issue is, instead of us coming authentically to situations, we're our defense mode. When we go in, when either party goes into defense mode, it automatically brings up, the ego steps in, and then it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're taking up for yourself now, because you feel like you got to defend yourself from that other person. because for whatever reason they done made you feel like, you know, that you got to do that. And it might not even be like they're doing it on purpose, you know what I'm saying? But it's happening. That's just what's happening. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that with y'all. I just sparked something in me, like to get on here and share that, because I'm thinking to myself, like, if both parties, like, let's just use an example of, because I had this song in my head today. Please don't judge me, you know, Chris Brown, and I won't judge you, cause it could get ugly before it gets beautiful. Oh, I can't sing, no company. So we know that song, right? Chris Brown. So basically on the song, he's saying, you know, I did do some things or whatever, because a lot of men, when you meet them, like I told you, and women, they're single, so they have other people in the cut that's lingering and shit. That's a no-brainer, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you know, once you start falling for someone and you see things going a little bit in a more serious way, and you coming hard as if you trying to make it official tissue. And I'm not talking about, you know, because a lot of men utilize marriage as game spitting. They be like, oh, I just want to marry you, so then they can get all that wifely duty out of you without fucking even being your husband yet. You know what I'm saying? This is how, you know, some of the game goes, and I've witnessed it myself. So it could be any man right now wanting to beg to differ. Niggas utilize that shit as a game tactic. It's crazy. But I just, you know, I just be on some shit like, you don't got a lot to kick it to me. I mean, you don't, but they seem to think that they do. But anyway, when you see things like in the song with Chris Brown, apparently he was getting serious with some chick or whatever, and he was like, that shit came before I fell for you. All before I fell for you. So please don't judge me, and I won't judge you, right? Because I'm not gonna judge you, because this shit happened before, you know, you was already in that situation and you trying to maneuver out of that situation or whatever. But my thing is, communication is a big piece of things. So with women, if we know what's up, if another person got an ex outside of the bond, the two people, if an exterior person has to tell me or you something about me or you, it's not a good feeling. It's definitely not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? You want to know. You be like, it just feels better to be like, yeah, I know that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody come up to you and be like, yeah, I saw Chris Breezy. Yeah, I knew about her. He getting rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Or I know he's not interested no more, and he's moving on. He's moving on out of that. Or the chick ain't trying to let go. Speak on that. You know, men, they be hiding shit on purpose. Like, they be like, I can't tell her that. And then a part of me thinks that they hide it because they want to keep it open-ended, just because they want to be able to slide back over there. Because men are very known for sliding back. I mean, women do it too, but me personally, I don't. I'm cool on you. After that, after we done, I don't want to keep going back and all of that. It's over with. It's fucking over with. I'm going to try to revive it a couple times, see what we doing. If it's not working, it ain't working. I mean, life is too short to sit there and try to keep beating a dead horse, you know what I'm saying? But what I do really think, and maybe we should just start implementing this in our new relationships or relationships that we currently have, where, you know, to make them a little bit more healthier moving forward, is to put the ego down and don't get so defensive, because like it causes a bigger problem when the thing could have just been, you know, it could have been dealt with in a much better way. I don't think that it's healthy to have you know, have things festering, you know. If you try to talk about it and the other person is not willing to, you know, open up about it, that should let you know that they're really not, you know, in a space where they either can't speak on it right now because maybe they feel some type of way and their ego's in the way right now and they don't want to be open all the way, or maybe they don't give a fuck. But either way, you got to decipher that, you know, and then you have to, because you're only responsible for yourself in that, in anything, in any dispute with a loved one. You're responsible for you. You can't really control what the other person is gonna say or do. You know what I'm saying? All you could do is control how you react and the things that you're gonna say and do. So if you can try to come at it and put everything on the table, like, man, it really hurt my feelings. I just wanted this, or I just needed that. And then that person, you know, whether or not they want to engage in putting the ego down with you, it will let you know where y'all stand at. And then it's, you know, and the best way I handle it is just to step away. Because what am I going to do? If I don't, we're going to go at it. Period. I'm working on being poised to the point where I'm completely unbothered by exterior things, you know, and that's going to take a lot of work, and I'm going to do that work because it's very important to me that I don't let other things outside of me affect me, because I can't do nothing about it, you know. And those have been that has been one of my biggest struggles throughout my life. I mean, every little thing, every little hiccup, every little, oh my God, you know, I'm freaking out. I'm upset about it, you know, because it's not how I think it should go. But I'm not in control of that. And when I say all you can control is you, that's it. It's really, that's it. Even when it comes to your children, you might think that you can control them, but and be like, oh, well, you could tell them this, and you can't tell them. You can tell them all day. You got to come up with ways to help them want to do something. And what I'm finding is my kids have been surprising me, and it just yesterday it dawned on me. Like I suggested a challenge on my son, and he literally is sticking to it right now. I noticed that, and he's already starting. The face looking better. My daughter comes in the room last night, and she's like, "Mom, I worked out. It's like day 3. You know, I'm feeling good." And then I told her what I'm doing. I'm on a water fast. I don't know if y'all caught that alert, but yeah, water fast. I'm on day 3 now. No phone. I'm not posting this video. I'm just doing this video because I had to get it off my mind, and I'm like, I don't want it to pass me by. But I really think in the little, you know, the problem right there in the middle of a relationship going left or right is just putting your hands up and saying, you know what, I give up. I surrender. You right. I feel this way. This is why. Because it's like when you hold back, it causes different responses to happen. Like if the person's like, well, what's wrong? And then you know what's wrong, but you don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because you really haven't gathered all your thoughts or whatever. And it's okay to step away and, you know, figure out how you really feeling before you speak on it. It's fine, because there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is when you're in a conversation and let's just say you haven't gathered all your thoughts and you don't know, just say that. Like, can we revisit this? Because right now, I don't even know how I feel. I'm trying to process everything right now. You know what I'm saying? Or however it needs to go for the outcome to be great. You know, for it to be you two are on the same page in a positive manner. It don't have to be beef because you disagree. You know? But with me, dismissive behavior, nonchalant behavior, it would put me in defense mode. Because anytime I've dealt with nonchalant or defensive behavior, it was from ego from the other person. It was ego. And I hate it because the way I react is I shut down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, a man might say, well, she's fussing, I'm just not gonna say nothing. So it's like, but how do you really feel? And then why don't you say, look, when you fuss like this, I shut down. Or when you, like, if we just say what it is, it's because honestly we're silently reacting and thinking something else, but we're not displaying that thing that we're thinking originally. You know what I'm saying? So so let's just say, example, slow this down a little bit. Your wife comes in. She's expressing to you whatever it is that she's feeling. And maybe her delivery's fucked up. Or maybe it's not. However you want to slice it, right? It is or it isn't. You could do it based on your experiences, right? Alright, so you in your mind, you like either don't agree, or you not really feeling what she's saying, or you're like, here we go again, she's fussing, or whatever, right? Whatever it is that you're coming up with in your head, you're not saying that though. So you're just gonna respond as in a nonchalant way because you're like, man, alright. So now that you're doing that, man, alright, she's over there like, oh, you don't care what I'm saying? So then it turns into something else. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, what? And then it's like, you see, the men is from Mars and women is from Venus. It needs to be, babe, when you do all of that, I shut down. I don't want to, let's talk. Or if you feel like you got, you know, caught up in a situation, like on the Chris Brown song, he's saying like, you know, you seeing stuff online or whatever. It's the girl, I guess the girl seen he was cheating or something, or maybe she thought he was cheating because it was stuff online, and he's like, you know, that's before me and you, but please don't judge me. And he's like, I don't want to fuss and I don't want to fight. You know, you're gonna start asking me questions like, is she attractive? Is she an actor? You know what I'm saying? So the man is like, oh, she finna start, I already know how this is gonna go, that's why I'm not gonna say nothing. But the woman, the communication needs to be there. Why we can't just talk? Why? Men are simple creatures. They're simple creatures, and they think the way they think. And the women are emotional beings. So that wears on the man, because the man is like, it's not that serious. It's always not that deep for them. It's never that deep for them. It's never that serious for them. It's always that serious for us. Always that deep for us. Always. So that's where it bumps heads every time. And when you love someone enough and you adore them, you compromise those things. And I'm not saying compromise for love. I'm saying you're compromising because, in a sense, it's like a respect thing. It's like you understand that person, so you know how they are. So in turn, you know how to deal with them. And understanding is the key to any successful relationship, any dynamic of relationship, anyone you want to name. And I don't believe in compromising for love. I believe, you know, you be in yourself and always standing in your truth and coming together in that way, you know, and being whole. And it's very important that, you know, we communicate when each other is not understanding something about one another. Because the understanding is like, it brings clarity, you know. And there's a lot of us that walk around with all this confidence and we don't have no clarity. And confidence without clarity is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. You really sit down and think about how dangerous confidence without clarity. You could be confident in all the wrong thing. You could be going the whole wrong way. You know? But I think that's the code. I cracked the code. It's the ego, y'all. And us being defensive and not wanting to get hurt, putting our guards up. We got our guards up and we're ready. You know, and then the ego kicks in. And then there goes something that could have been beautiful. Because it can get ugly before it gets beautiful. So please don't judge me, and I won't judge you. Because it can get ugly before it gets beautiful. I'm signing off. Till next time, I wish you peace, health, wealth, and the time to enjoy them all.